Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, who forgot about the time change? Oh my goodness. Right here, I forgot about it. Let me know if you forgot about the time change. Maybe it's a sign of getting older. I don't know. I don't know, but I woke up this morning and I usually wake up really early, and I woke up and I looked at my phone. Actually, I came into the living room. My wife was already up. And I looked down, I said 7:30. I said 7:35 or something. I said, what? I said, no way. So maybe I'll sleep until 6:30 latest. I've never slept. And I was like, of course, because of time change. So it made me actually think how to time the change when it's time to change. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Listen, I want to know if you forgot the time change. In fact, you may be saying, why are you doing this at 7 in the morning, Mark? It's 7:12. In fact, I gave myself a little grace. And that's actually the point to today's message. Listen, if you forgot, if the time does change where you live, let me know. Chances are it does where you live. And if you forgot to do the time change, I would love to know. If you were with me, say, yeah, I forgot. You can just drop down in the comments below, I forgot. But let's talk about it. It's Sunday morning. The birds are chirping. The sun's not quite up. Well, it's coming up. See, it's right over there, right over top there. The beach is over that direction. And we get some beautiful sunrise, as you saw before. But I want to talk to you today just for a short moment, because literally I'm not going to be maybe as chipper because I have only maybe drank about a sip or two of coffee. Ooh, if you have coffee, just go grab some coffee and come join me for a few minutes. So I want to talk to you about it's Sunday. This is a time where maybe you're reflecting on your week, and maybe you're having your quiet time. And I had a great quiet time this morning. It was about a whole 30 seconds long, but I pulled open. I'm reading, it's a devotion, 365 devotions for men. And I just pulled up the one, I actually did one of those. You ever do the Bible where you just kind of like, just open the Bible and see what it says? Well, I was running short on time. I didn't really have a long quiet time, but I pulled this out, and it said, and it's actually for July because it's kind of in a daily. It said, plowing straight lines. And it's Philippians. I'm not going to go into the whole devotion, but I just want to share with you the scripture. And it's, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Philippians 3:14. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has. So you think I'm pressing on toward the goal. So how to time the change when it's time to change, right? How to time the change. Well, I was thinking a year ago where we were on our way back from Breckenridge, and like there was going to be huge time, like the time was changing and our times were changing, and we didn't know what to expect, right? We just kind of took it one day at a time, and regardless of how that looked over the past year or so, it might have been really hard. And one of the things, you probably had to make some changes, and I think you were almost forced to make changes. And it actually makes me think of when a lot of people come to me for help when it comes to their weight loss journey, and they ask or they inquire about having a coach, or about how do I do this? How do I lose weight? How do I exercise? And shouldn't I do this? Shouldn't I do that? What about this? What do you think about that? I saw this person lose weight on here. And, it's just a busy time in my life right now. See if the sunshine's coming up here, which is beautiful. So I really, really wanted to dial in on this whole timing thing, because a lot of times I think people get stuck. They get stuck in a rut, and they're waiting for the perfect timing. And that's the problem, typically, is you get so focused. I know a lot of people who get so focused on just waiting for the perfect timing. And if you realize that this whole journey that we're on, this whole life journey, is not a perfect journey. Well, God probably perfected it knowing exactly the direction that you're going to be heading in, right? But it's something that if we are focused so much on the perfection and waiting for the perfect time, then guess what? Never happens. You never get started. A lot of times people never get started. They never start their change. They never start their pursuit, if you will. They actually failure to launch. Wasn't that a movie one time? I think that was, what was his, Matt McConaughey, Failure to Launch. Is that the kid? I say kid. When the guy was like 20-something years old, 30-something years old, and he still lived at home with his mama, and he wouldn't get married. I think it was called Failure to Launch. So does that sound familiar? So how to time the change when it's time to change is just freaking start. Make some progress. Just start. Just start. Well, like, Mark, you don't understand. I've started before. Well, after you start, don't stop. I think I got like an eyebrow here. Sorry, it's like in my eye. Like, after you start, don't stop. Don't stop. And even if you stop, get back on, start again. Even if you feel like you've messed up. In fact, one of the things I've learned as far as success goes, and this is not just related to health. So you may have stumbled, you may have fallen, you may have made mistakes along the way. Good. Just don't make the same mistakes. And I've made some of the same mistakes over and over, and that's kind of like the definition of insanity, right? Learn from your mistakes and move on. Learn from your mistakes and move on. Don't stay stuck in a rut. Like, don't give up. Like, the only time you fail is when you give up. But if you're waiting for the perfect time, and I hear this all the time. I talked to people a year ago, and it was just around, I remember. And I have a whole list of the people I've talked to a year ago who they were inquiring about weight loss journey, inquiring about, getting some help and coaching. What does my program look like? How does it work? How does this whole online coaching? If you want to know, more about that, just shoot me a private message. Also, I don't know if you saw, but I'm actually going to be giving away $6,000 in scholarships. So stay on the lookout for that. Have more information on how you can potentially, and I might have to give a few of them out. I might have to split that up between a few people. But if you're interested, you can send me a private message, scholarship, with the word scholarship. Let me know you're interested in that. But let me just say is a lot of times people just stay stuck because they're just waiting for the perfect timing. And reality is perfect timing is now. Right now is the perfect timing. People are like, well, when should I start losing weight? When should I? Right now. And don't give up. Don't give up, right? And if you've been giving up on yourself, maybe you need the kind of support and kind of structure and kind of accountability that you need to succeed. It's okay to have that kind of accountability. And, that's the big struggle. The big struggle is you either stop because you didn't know what you were doing, you got stuck in a rut, or you are waiting for the perfect time and you never got started. I have people that tell me, Mark, I haven't taken care of myself since I started having kids. And my kids are now out of the house and 23 years old, 25 years old, which means 25 years been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's a habit in itself. Like that unfortunately is not the best habit, especially if you want to take better care of yourself, but it doesn't mean you can't start now. In fact, if you keep waiting, like I know some people did last year and they still waited and there's nothing changed. See, the reality is nothing will change if nothing changes. Like if you don't change, nothing is going to change. There's no miracle that's just going to happen overnight and you're going to be able to take care of take care of the weight. It's not going to just like automatically go off your body, right? Does that make sense? I hope it does. So it is interesting how to time the change when it's time to change. People tell me, Mark, I'm just too busy. I got too much going on. I'm really busy. I have all this work and I have kids and grandchildren and it's just, you're making freaking excuses. Stop the excuses. Or like, no, it's not the right time in my life right now. Well, life is right now. Like the right time in your life to take care of yourself is right now. And you're like, no, but Mark, I know what I need to do. Here's what I hear all the time. Here's one of my favorite excuses. Mark, I know what I need to do. I know how to eat healthy, and I even know how to exercise. I know this worked for me before. I just need to have motivation and discipline. No, if you just needed motivation and discipline, guess what? You already have done it. But if you're sitting at 55 years old wondering what the hell happened to your body, how did you let yourself go? Maybe one of two things. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're killing yourself in the process, just like wondering why you can't just get it together. And you still waited and waited and waited, and you still haven't gotten the help that you've needed. Or you're waiting for the perfect timing. And then you're realizing that 10 years has gone by and you're still waiting for the perfect timing. And guess what? Time is running out. Time is running out. When the hourglass, you think of like the sand going through that hourglass and you think of time's running out. It's not going to get any easier the longer you wait. So how to time the change when it's time to change? Like, look, we just set the clock back. I totally messed up. It was like, oh man, and I had a plan. I had my plan today. I was going to get up and do that. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. I was like, oh, okay, I got to get on here and do my daily dose. I came on at 8:12. Give me a little grace for that. And you can't beat yourself up over perfection. You and I both know the perfection is there's only one, and that's the one who created you, who's perfect. So progress is progress. And how you make progress, how you take one step forward is you look at what you've done in the past, maybe, and you say, okay, I did this, it didn't really work. Maybe I need to do something different. And I've been waiting and waiting. And you know what? I've waited a year and I waited. And you know what? I used the pandemic. I used the lockdown as another excuse for me. And guess what? I'm still in the same place. And, you know, at least in Florida here, we're opened up. There's no reason why you can't get out. Gyms are open. The stores are open. You can go out for a walk. It's nice outside. There's no excuses, right? You keep making excuses or you keep waiting for the perfect time. And then guess what? Failure to launch. And I hope that's not the case. But if you need the help, what's stopping you from getting the help that you need? You know, what's stopping you? People talk about this all the time. Well, Mark, it's kind of expensive to hire a coach like you. You have all this experience, whatever, and it's a pretty serious program. There's a commitment involved. Absolutely. But you know what happens when you actually invest in yourself? You pay more attention. People that pay more attention. Why do you think all the programs that are free and cheap, and you can buy the online coaching and online free, or if I say online coaching, you can buy the nutrition plans and the workouts and all that stuff. And why haven't they worked? Because you got no skin in the game. It's simple as that, right? You got to know why you want to have and put skin in the game, and then you got to actually step up and do it. Do the work. And if you've been successful, phenomenal. Like if you're listening, you're like, yeah, that's me. I did it. I got it. Awesome. You're about maybe 1/100%. Truly. Like if you want to get, and I'm not talking about like runway model ready. I'm talking about just get the fat over the sides, get the muffin top away, get those man boobs, get those tightened up, get your body presentable for yourself. And I'm not talking for anybody else. I'm talking about for you. Oh, but Mark, my friends is telling me all the time, Mark, they just tell me, you look great the way you are. You're beautiful. And inside you have an extra 50 pounds and you're not thinking to yourself, you're beautiful. That's all that matters. You got to realize this is you. This is your life. This is your time. It's not your friends might be alongside for the journey, your spouse, right? And your kids and all those things. But this is the one body you get to live in. How are you going to take it? Are you going to keep waiting? Are you going to keep just struggling? Are you going to keep waiting for the perfect time? Or are you going to take action now? I hope your decision is to take action now. And I hope if you want help that you reach out to somebody like me. If you want, reach out to me. See if we're a good fit to work together. I don't have the program for everyone. In fact, I disqualify people all the time. If you're not serious, if you're not ready to take action now, then you probably don't need to reach out to me. But it's Sunday and you're waking up and you're maybe disappointing yourself and again because you let yourself go and you have no structure, you have no accountability, you don't have any idea how much you should eat. You keep going towards food because you get emotional or whatever stress is in your life. You have terrible sleep habits. You wonder why you have, all the things going on, all the extra stress. And then you look at yourself and you can't look at yourself and you have all that extra stress on top of it, not to mention all the stress in the world, not to mention all the stress with your family, not to mention all the extra stress and anxiety that you just have. And, it's hard to filter those things out, especially if you're staying stuck, especially if you're not taking action, especially if you're waiting for perfect timing. Perfect timing doesn't exist. I think the most success I've had is when I've actually just went for it. You go for it. You go for it. Don't wait for things to be perfect, but get the help you need so that you are taking steps in the right direction. Anyway, take care. I got to go drink my coffee. Happy Sunday to you, and I hope this message landed on you well. If you feel like sharing it, do it. If you want to reach out to me, send me a private message. Be on the lookout for that scholarship we'll be doing pretty soon. Take care.